You're watching Newsworld International.
Instead of shedding load, they called on the demand from
the blame game, pointing fingers over the blackout, transportation chaos, travelers are stranded everywhere, and relief for thousands of starving Liberians. Hello, I'm Sandra Lewis, and this is International News First. More than 24 hours after a massive blackout hit the eastern United States and Ontario, power is slowly returning. The blackout was the biggest in North American history, affecting more than 50 million people. And it left officials on both sides of the border pointing fingers of blame. Harry Smith of ITV News reports.
Clearly, we'll have to find out why, when there was what looks like a lightning strike up in Quebec, and they tried to shed power load. Instead of shedding load, they called on the demand from the United States system, and it appears that that's what happened.
Just a few hours into the crisis that brought large parts of America to a standstill, and already they're looking for someone to blame. And across the border in Canada, they were just as quick to say it wasn't our fault. Even after hours of play, the blame game has failed to shed any clear light on the crisis. Initially, both the Americans and Canadians said a bolt of lightning, or perhaps a fire, had hit a power plant near the Niagara Falls in New York State. Then the Canadians said it began with a blackout at a nuclear plant in Pennsylvania. But a US electricity company later claimed there was a fault in the Ontario power system. Whatever the cause, it quickly spread, taking out power in New York, Detroit in Michigan, Cleveland in Ohio, and Toronto and Ottawa across the Canadian border. It's raised serious questions about North America's aging power grid.
What happens is the utilities, to make more bucks, to deal with the demand, and then the public, which doesn't like new transmission lines because it's in your backyard and it's not nice to see. And so you have this situation where the greatest superpower in the world has not modernized its power grid.
Most people who understand the system have been arguing that we need to build more interconnectivity between regional power grids. And that's certainly true, but the problem is there's not a lot of profit incentive in that. It's a very heavily regulated business. And there's not a lot of people out there who can make a lot of money doing that under the current regulatory system.
Caught in the middle of the chaos is the British company National Grid, which owns the region's largest supplier of power. It reacted to criticism with this statement. Many potential causes have been speculated, but such speculation is uninformed and premature. Premature it may be, but once the lights are back on, Northeast America will be looking for answers. Harry Smith, ITV News.
While politicians in Canada and the United States have been busy pointing the finger, the blackout highlighted a serious problem: the aging and failing North American electrical infrastructure. The CBC's David Halton reports from Washington.
The damaging fallout from the power failure cast a shadow over President George Bush's visit to a national park today.
I view it as a wake-up call. You know, I've been concerned that our infrastructure, the delivery system, is old and antiquated, and I think this is an indication